Spooky season is finally here. I haven't picked out a costume quite yet. Not sure what I'll be this year. Hey. But I have started decorating. For one, my spooky tree. I still need to decorate it. I'll get to that one of these days. Or maybe I won't. And two, there's a spider up there. There's also a handful roaming our apartment. Occasionally my girlfriend will freak out over one, but she doesn't understand. 'Tis the season. Anyways, I got some stuff at the dollar store, so I'll be making a few Halloween DIYs to make this place look a little more festive and spooky. First, I want to mention something really cool I found at the dollar store. I ran into these bleeding skull candles. You light them up just like a regular candle, and then the skull bleeds through its eyes. Kind of looks like it's crying tears of blood. Pretty creepy stuff. Ooh. They're perfect for Halloween, but honestly, I'm just gonna keep them year-round. It's a vibe. I think they would make awesome little presents or party favors. So cool, in fact, that I bought like 10 of them. I saw a bleeding skull candle at Walmart for like $5, but I think the dollar store one just looks better. This is just a nice, white, creepy skull that cries. So beautiful. Anyways, on to the DIYs. Excuse my hands. There's some paint on them. Life of a crafter. Also some scratches, courtesy of Sniffledorf. So yeah, I found this cookie cutter set at the Dollar Tree. There's a skull, a ghost, and a tombstone. Typical Halloween shapes. You could make cookies with them if you want, but I had a better idea. I wrapped each cookie cutter in aluminum foil, and now they look so much better. Just messing. They look terrible right now. I know. I bought some candles from the dollar store. I didn't really want to do like orange and black. I wanted something a little more disgusting. So I went with candy corn colors.
Oh, the horror.
Iconically disgusting and a little unsettling.
That's the kind of vibe I try to go for. No one actually eats these things willingly, but I do like the colors. I think they look nice together. Cute. I hate it. I decided to melt these candles down into a huge pot of boiling water. It actually took a little while for them to melt. The whole time I thought the glass around the candles might crack, but thankfully none of them did. I have these little tongs that I use to feed my snakes the mice I managed to catch. They're multi-purpose. They're great for pulling out these little candle wicks without burning my hand. That's better. So now that the wax is melted, I pulled out the cookie tray. If you're new here and you wish I was making cookies, you should consider selling your soul to me by subscribing to my channel and ringing that bell thing so you don't lose me on the internet. I post new videos
Every Friday.
Still not making cookies though, so don't get your hopes up. I plan on making some little Halloween tea lights out of these. I poured in the melted candle wax, seems simple enough, until the ghost started bleeding. Ghosts aren't supposed to bleed. This whole thing became a hot mess. I wasn't ready to throw it all in the trash just yet. This time I added just a little bit of wax at the bottom of the tombstone first. I let that cool for like a minute, and then I poured the rest of the wax on top and stuck the tombstone in the freezer. And here's what popped out. Boo. Just kidding. I did the same thing with the ghost off camera. It was very simple. They just popped right out once they were cooled. Pouring all the wax in at once was definitely not the way to go. Lesson learned. I think they look cute together. Very spoopy. This next little DIY is actually one I saw on TikTok. No good story ever started with that sentence, and this one's no different. I did eventually find an easier way. I'll explain it as I go. So I saw people on TikTok buying wood stencils from the dollar store. This time of year, there's a lot of really cool spooky stencils available. All different types. I was very excited because, you know, I love spooky stuff. And they're only $1. What could possibly go wrong? Everything, apparently. I also picked up some bleach from the dollar store and some cheap shirts from Michael's. They were like $3 or $4 each. I did make sure they were 100% cotton. They gotta be 100%. So far, so good. I laid the stencils down on the shirts and then just bleached them down the row. Gotta do this fast. You can see the bleach works pretty fast. The blue shirt started changing color pretty immediately. I think I definitely went a little too heavy-handed on the bleach. That's my bad.
That's good.
I could already sense a pending disaster, but I decided to let them sit. Let the wound fester. These shirts had such potential. They didn't bleach to white like I thought they would. Instead, they turned like peach and pink and
Puke colored.
There's a doo-doo stain.
I really wanted it to turn white, so I tried again. This time I bought stronger bleach, Clorox. Also, my little patio area doesn't have any sunlight. There's a bunch of huge trees across my apartment that provide some nice shade. It's nice for the summertime, not so nice when I'm trying to bleach these shirts. I bought some more shirts and tried again. New stencils, new shirts, a stronger bleach, plus direct sunlight. I even sprayed a lot less bleach this time around. I was getting really excited, but actually, things ended up even worse.
They don't work. Doesn't work.
It was not my day.
Doesn't work.
The bleach would probably work if the stencil would stick to and adhere to the shirt, but there's no good way to do that with these. They're always going to be a little raised. Honestly, I hate working with bleach. It's toxic, and the images don't even end up looking nice and crisp. So I found a better solution, something that I'm a little more familiar with. Fabric paint. Except not exactly. This time I'm using fabric spray paint. It was like $4. It's not toxic or
Deadly.
I still wouldn't recommend breathing it in. Definitely wear a mask. And if you don't have one,
Just hold your breath.
in which case you might want to work fast. Which is good, because this whole process is pretty fast. I put the stencil on the shirt. I did weigh it down with some rocks where I could. Really wanted these shirts to work this time. I sprayed some fabric spray paint, removed the stencil, and voila, it's perfect. And you don't need to use bleach. In fact, I loved it so much, I did it a couple more times. It worked out perfectly every time. On the Frankenstein girl, I did start running a bit short, so it got a little splattery, but I think it adds a nice touch. I love it. I think it's safe to say these shirts look a lot more professional and more put together. I also like the ghostly look the white fabric spray paint gave. Gave it like a haunted portrait kind of look. Easy, fast, no mess or cleanup. I would honestly skip the bleach and just go straight to the fabric spray paint. Alright, on to the next one. I picked up a punch bowl from the dollar store.
Very fancy stuff.
Except for its plastic, but no one can tell through the camera. What matters is that it looks fancy. I saw a video from Tasty that made this. It looked really cool, so I decided to recreate it. I got some gloves, just want something that's powder free. I filled them up with some water and tied them like a little water balloon. I'm not the best at tying water balloons, but I got there eventually. I gave each of the hands their own little bowl and made some extras in my lasagna tray, cause I had a feeling I was gonna mess something up. Sniffledorf has recently learned how to jump on top of the table, so he jumps up every chance he gets. He honestly never leaves me alone. He likes to keep a close watch on me. But anyways, I shoved the hands into the freezer and let them sit there the whole day. At night, I poured some cranberry juice into the punch bowl.
We've got some lychee berries here. Is it lychee or lychee?
Oops. It's really not funny.
I just shoved some blueberries in there. Made them look like little freshly harvested eyeballs. Not entirely convinced they're pulling off the look.
No.
Kinda looks like someone stuck their hand in a bee's nest. Very big hands. I cut off the glove with an X-Acto knife. Really struggled with pulling the glove off the fingers.
Oh no!
A couple of the fingers snapped off in the process. I think that's the biggest issue I had, was getting the fingers out.
Oops.
Some of them worked out better than others. Things got a little crowded with 3 hands, so I left one out. I think this DIY does work. Tasty's just looks a bit cooler than mine turned out, but I think it's a fun little touch to have at a Halloween party.
Oh.
Red ghost. That's hot. Click on the top right or bottom left videos if you like red ghosts. I said click on it!